Hi, second graders. To start this video, we're gonna read Make an Animal Mask, and we're gonna do the activity. I'm gonna walk you through it step by step. So here's what you need to start this video. You need this story, Make an Animal Mask, and this story is in your binder. You will also need a piece of notebook paper. You can use the spiral notebook paper that we have sent home. So I need you to get a pencil, spiral paper, or your spiral notebook, and this story. So push pause now, and I will continue to the video when you come back. All right, welcome back. Make an animal mask. First, I'd like you to just follow along with me with a story that you have in front of you, or you can use the screen. Make an animal mask. You can make an animal mask. It's simple. Before you begin, choose what type of animal you want to become. Find a photograph or an illustration from a fiction book to help you visualize the animal. Then choose your paint and your paper colors. In addition to paint and paper, you will need a paper plate and a craft stick. First, cover the paper plate with paint. Then, wait for the paint to dry. Use the colored paper to make ears and attach them to the paper plate. Draw your animal's face. Remember to look at the picture you found before you started. Finally, attach the craft stick to the paper plate. Now you have an animal mask. So in this story, it's giving you a lot of directions. There's a lot of steps here. So what we're going to do is organize all of the directions and put them in order using these numbers. However, they didn't really think that we won't be able to write in that little tiny space. So instead of writing on this paper, I'd like you to get a piece of notebook paper that you can use and write on. Because then what we're going to do is write number 1 on our paper. So I'd like you to start by doing that. As always, put your name at the top. And I'm going to just start on the first line so that I have enough room. All right, so we have to figure out what did they mean for our very first step in the story. What's the first thing we have to do to make an animal mask? So I'm going to underline the important parts. So you follow along and underline or highlight, use your highlighter, whatever works best for you. You can make an animal mask. It's simple. Before you begin, those are the key words. Choose what type of animal you will become. I'm going to underline that because that looks to me. Choose what type of animal you want to become. So back on our paper, that's our first step, is choose the animal. And put a period at the end. Now, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause this video to check for your spelling. I'm going to keep on moving along to make the video a little faster. I'm going to write number 2. I'm going to skip a line so that I have space in between. And we're going to go back in the story and change it to number 2. Here we go. Number 2. Find a photograph or an illustration from a fiction book to help you visualize the animal. Well, here it is right there. Find a photograph or an illustration from a book to help you visualize the animal. There's the next step right here, number 2. So I'm going to move back to my paper and I'm going to say, find we use the word picture more than we use the word photograph. So I'm going to write picture. Find a picture to look at. That's good enough for me. All right, then I skip a line and I write number 3. As I'm going along, each time I'm underlining it and then I'm writing it. It says next, then choose your paint and paper colors. Well, that's easy. So then I'm going to go to my page and I'm going to say, choose. Oops. I'm going to put the. Choose the paper and paint colors. All right, skip a line. And number 4. Number 4 says, in addition to paint and paper, you will need a paper plate and a craft stick. First, cover the paper plate with paint. So this step, it says, in addition to the paint and the paper, you will need a paper plate and a craft stick. It didn't really tell us that was really a direction, though. It just told us what we needed. So then this word right here, first, kind of gave me a clue that I would say cover the paper with paint. So I'm going to write right here. I'm going to write, oops, I need a capital letter at the beginning of my sentence. Paint the plate. I'm going to go back to my story. Then wait for the paint to dry. Wait for the paint to dry. All right, as you go through, I've showed you the first 5 steps. I want you to do the last 3 on your own. Do steps 6, 7, and 8 on your own. Make sure you're underlining it in the story on your piece of paper. And then I'd like you to take a picture and send it to me on Seesaw. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Seesaw. I'm happy to help. I hope that helped you get started at first. Have a great rest of your day.